The Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office has released body and dash cam video showing the night Sergeant Ryan Proxmire was killed.
And we do want to warn you, some of the footage you're about to see is very graphic and disturbing. Our Chris Hugh went through all of the video and is live in studio to explain what it reveals about that terrifying and tragic night, Chris.
And in Erica, the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office released 9 videos in all, showing the perspectives of not only Sergeant Proxmire, but of his fellow deputies as well. This is the vantage point of Sergeant Ryan Proxmire on August 14th when he arrived at a gas station near Galesburg. He approached Kyle Goidosik, who had escaped a traffic stop earlier in the day.
What's going on tonight?
Goidosik refuses to cooperate,
Well, talk to me.
then pulls a gun from his shorts.
No. Drop it.
Proxmire draws his own gun while another deputy goes to the nearby subway to warn customers.
Get in. He has a gun. Stop.
Goidosik gets in his van and tries to escape again. Deputies then get inside their cruisers to chase him. This dashcam video shows Proxmire's perspective. Goidosik continues firing his gun during the chase. Proxmire is hit and his car comes to a stop. Meanwhile, bodycam video from other deputies show them arriving at the field where Goidosik's van got stuck and engaging in a shootout. Goidosik was hit.
Show me your hands. He's on the ground.
Deputies then pulled Goidosik from the grass and took turns performing CPR. At that point, they didn't know Goidosik had already shot Proxmire.
We lost Proxmire up at MN. He was taking debris from the trailer.
But moments later, they hear the news.
It's my responsibility. I didn't know we said.
Emotions setting in.
Proxmire was hit. Proxmire was hit during the pursuit. One of my guys. They're taking him to Bronson.
Deputies then rush to the hospital and line up outside Proxmire's room.
Thank you.
Proxmire died at Bronson Methodist Hospital the very next day. He was 39 years old and a father of 4. Law enforcement agencies from all over the state took part in his funeral procession.
Here at Allegan High School, it appears school is back to what we once all called normal. Classes in session, students roaming the halls. But that's not what parents tell me. One parent tells me since the start of the school year, dozens of fights have broken out between students.
Yeah, her and her friends were telling me like the first or second week of school that there were like 6 fistfights in Allegan in 1 week.
Nevin Cooper Keel, a parent with 3 children at Allegan Public Schools, says the fights he hears about from his daughter are getting out of hand.
It's not even just fighting. I've got 2 sons that are in elementary school, and I've seen, changes in them that have not been positive either, just trying to cope with the stress.
Where are the biggest areas of concern?
Another pandemic casualty, which Schoolcraft High School principal Matthew Daly says he wishes a vaccine could fix.
It's had a negative impact on almost kindness, right? We wish there was an inoculation that we could put into people's arms to restore kindness.
As an educator with more than 2 decades of experience, Daly says he's never seen kids get into so many fights at school.
We're predominantly seeing things within the younger grades. Compared to a year ago, and even compared to where we were in 2019 pre-pandemic, we're at a double-digit increase compared to where we were during, those pre-pandemic times.
To see if the increase in fights at schools spans across West Michigan, I contacted several school districts: Paw Paw, Battle Creek, Portage, Kalamazoo, Allegan, Comstock, Coldwater, 3 Rivers. All 8 of the districts that you see on your screens here either didn't respond or declined to answer my questions.
What do you think is causing that double-digit increase?
I think just being able to cope. I think people are largely angry, and we're angry at something that we can't see, like a virus.
I've called and emailed Allegan Public Schools multiple times within the last 2 weeks regarding the parents' claims about increasing fights in schools. I still haven't heard back. Now, the school officials who did talk to me tell me that this is happening at different districts and in different grade levels. They say that kids are struggling to cope and sometimes acting out with violence.
Parents across West Michigan are waking up this morning with appointments already booked for their young children to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Kids 5 to 11 years old are now eligible to get a shot. The kid-sized doses of Pfizer's vaccine clearing 2 final hurdles Tuesday night. A recommendation from CDC advisors, then a green light from the director of the CDC. The federal government promising enough vaccine supply to protect the 28 million children in that age group.
Parents we talked to say they are ready and now planning to take the next steps to get their young ones vaccinated. News Channel 3's Hannah Knowles joins us live this morning outside the Kalamazoo County Health Department. Hannah, those parents tell you they've been eagerly awaiting this moment since Kalamazoo County saw a spike in child COVID-19 cases earlier this fall.
Kirk and Laura, parents tell me getting this next step and the final green light for that approval for a COVID-19 vaccine in kids under the age of 12 is something that they've been hoping for since the start of the school year. One reason for that is the extra freedom that comes from the protection of a COVID-19 vaccine.
We're so excited. We've been really cautious. We have at least one of the 3 that has pretty bad asthma. So every time they get a cold or anything, they have, trouble breathing. They've been hospitalized a couple times.
Andy Went, a mom of 4 in Kalamazoo, says this vaccine is a long time coming. Her oldest of 14 years already has the shot, something she says has made his life easier, both in and out of school. One says since her oldest is vaccinated as a family, he's allowed to participate in after-school activities, have sleepovers with friends, and do typical teenage things back in the community. As for at school enrolled in KPS, the mom says her 14-year-old no longer risks being sent home to quarantine if he's been in close contact with someone who might have been exposed. Instead, he just has to show proof of vaccination and pass a COVID-19 test.
I'm very anxious for them to get to go back to when they were right before COVID hit. They were just falling in love with going to gymnastics and, different group things that we've kind of pulled them back from. And I'm very excited for them to be able to do that again and to have some more safety around that for them.
So far this morning, I've seen that parents can go online through Mire and sign their 5 to 11-year-olds up for a COVID-19 vaccine appointment. However, heads up, those slots, some of them already a few weeks out, so just make sure that you're paying attention to the date. And as for our local school districts in the area, as to what will happen when that vaccine starts to roll out there, both Kalamazoo and Portage Public Schools tell me that they will follow suit with whatever the local county health department says to do.